There we go. Ya'u e uda. What's goody to the goddess and the gods, and what's popping to my people. And well, as you can see, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still navigating my way through this whole background drama. Ya'u my peace queen. As you can see, I still don't know how to fix my damn background, and I can't get nobody over here to help me. So y'all just got to deal with it until we don't got to deal with it. But um, hold on. I just swear it should be a lot easier, but it ain't. Cause when I do that, it cover my face up, but it ain't supposed to. So I don't know how that works. But that's actually the official new background whenever I get it to work, of course. Uh, so it's all type of filth going on that we're gonna have to deal with. And I just say, hold on, let me get my photographs together. I had some. Wait a minute. So y'all kick back, buckle up, and in a minute, we're gonna get into this heavy. But I wanted to. Oh yeah. So the you had the Monique thing, and then you had the Shannon Sharp thing, and first of all, I want to say to my brother Willie D, I don't know if I'm feeling Cat do his thing, you get him on the next day. Monique do her thing, and then you get DL Hughley on there. DL Hughley is a fucking sidewinder. Most of you, these entertainer types, are sidewinders, but I like Willie D. He alright, man. Maybe it's because I'm an old school ghetto boy. I'm an old school ghetto boy, ex fan. I'm not a fan of any human being now, except from, um, you know, the ones that I am. I just put it that way. But there's, I don't know. I think I do love the relationship between Monique and her husband. For all the people that say he like controlling her in some type of way, I think y'all weirdos. Um, Power is a two-way dynamic. You have to be able to relinquish it as well as you administer. So, at least in a marriage dynamic, the but the thing I was gonna say is then Boyce Watkins gets Mr. Black America. You always be one black first and all of this shit, and everything is black first, black. Why would you put that dumbass title on your show? Um, uh, what was that bullshit? Uh, Mike Epps and Shannon Sharp are threatening each other. Like, you're perpetuating it, asshole. Like, you as a Mr. B1 Black First, you should have never had no clickbait ass title like that. That let people know they about to come to your channel and watch some drama amongst black men. You shouldn't have titled it like that, but you know better. You did it on purpose because that was some weirdo thirsty shit you did. So either way it go, and I realized that there's nowhere in hell this is gonna work out if I'm not on time for y'all. So I'm gonna get better. I got a conclusion with the Prince because he got kickboxing on Tuesdays at the same time as the show start. And I pushed the show back 30 minutes thinking that would help, but it doesn't really. Because I have to have him there at 6 o'clock. That means I have to get back and get everything ready in 15 minutes, and it just doesn't work. So maybe I'll either push this back to 7 or I don't know. I think it's something. Because I hate when I'm like this late. And then I know I miss a lot of y'all, and y'all so damn impatient. So it is what it is. There's okay, Shannon Sharp. Let's do this. Let's normalize I can't even ask y'all to do that. That ain't gonna work. But let's just do this, Shannon Sharp. You ain't tricking nobody. Sitting front row seat in them tight ass pants and them tight ass bodybuilder shirts with that stylist guy or whatever. I told my son that was your hairstylist. He was like, he ain't got no hair. Like the 3 people I told that, they was like, he ain't got no hair. So I would like to believe that's your hairstylist because I could have sworn that's what I read. But I'll say this. If that's the Negro that's styling your wardrobe, that's even worse. That's even worse. Him downstairs is who put you in them tight ass pants. So we got 1 or 2 scenarios. Either he approving you putting on them tight ass pants, or he picking them out for you. I don't like either scenario. That's just me though. But I don't think either one of those are good for you. I'm just saying. And there's a 3rd scenario. Maybe he's neither one, and he's just a really good friend to hang out with at a basketball game. That could be possible. My only contention with that is there's no way that you don't think when you show up to pick him up in the tight ass bodysuit that he ain't, I mean, he clearly is playing for the other team. So are you giving them a little eye candy? Is this the courting phase? Like, what are we doing here? Because because you're dressed like someone who someone like him who would like to hang out with. Don't I suck at being politically correct? Okay, we don't even have to on this channel. So look, here's the deal. You are with a guy at every basketball game. You're with the openly homosexual guy. He's clearly a homosexual. And so what we're wondering is, if he your hairstylist, my son wants to know why he hanging out with you and you ain't got that much hair. It's coming from my son. If he's your clothes stylist, then my son's dad wants to know, why are you letting a homosexual put them tight ass pants on you? Scenario number 3. If he's none of the above and just a really cool guy to go to a basketball game with, what makes you think he ain't checking you out in the tight ass bodysuits you be wearing? See, all 3 of these scenarios scream you got something going on that maybe you should tell the people about. And I know what the common thing is. I got daughters. I got a girl. Yeah, that's fine. All you Hollywood guys and athlete guys got daughters and wives and shit like doesn't stop anything from what I've seen. So I'm just saying, maybe you trapped in the closet. You need to come out the closet, Shannon. Come out the closet, Shannon. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. All I know, down south, connect what's happening, kinfolk. All I know is I feel some type of way with you trying to whoop on Day Day. I feel some type of way with you trying to whoop on Day Day, and you got them tight ass pants on. I feel some type of way. And also, if it should happen that Day Day pop one in your ass, I don't think anybody's gonna be mad at him. You too big to be talking about putting your hands on a grown man, Shannon. Maybe you need to come out of the closet. Shannon need to come out of the closet. Maybe that's what we need. I don't know. All I'm saying is don't get mad at Day Day. I know he don't even like that. Mike Epps. I shouldn't even say it because I rock with Mike Epps. But you shouldn't even be mad at him for saying stuff that everybody else said. And I want to say to Mike Epps, you keep cracking these jokes about you ready to sell out. And maybe they ain't jokes. But I hope you know what come with that. They gonna break it down, Mike. Oh yeah, down south. Oh Shay. Oh Shay got this feelings. Cause Mike Epps talking about them booty pants he be wearing. and I agree. No grown ass man should be named Shay. Unless, there's always an unless. Here's the only scenario where I feel a grown man should be able to call himself Shay. Unless, after you done with your show, you go home and you take them tight ass pants off and you put on your dress and your wig. Then I can understand why you would like to be called Shay. Then it makes perfectly good sense and nobody questions it. But any other circumstance or scenario, I just can't see myself approving of Mr. Shay. And you know what? I'm no longer even going to fucking call you that because I feel guilty for saying it. Fuck how you feel for doing it. I feel guilty for saying this shit. And I'm just going to say one more time. Maybe you need to come out of the closet. Yeah. That's how I feel. Yeah, we won't be using. Matter of fact, that name is forbidden. Now, but then they said they apologized and they're gonna talk it out. But I need you to know something, Shannon. Don't you for 1 second think that you trying to be slick and you gonna get close to Mike Epps and use them big ass arms and try to sneak on in. Cause let me tell you what's gonna happen. They gonna shoot your big ass and drag you all through Indiana if you touch Mike Epps. I promise you. You will be shot several times in various muscle tissues, and they're gonna drag your ass through the streets of Indiana. So I would advise you, if you got any strong thoughts, to hold that shit down and take your I don't even know what y'all call them, since you don't want to call him your boyfriend. Then you just go with him and stay your distance. But I don't know. I would have told this big ass I'm gonna shoot him too. What else you gonna do with Shannon Sharp? And you, man, nobody finna be outside tussling with you. Soon as you tell anybody in America you gonna punch them, they're gonna shoot you. Get the fuck out of here. You don't even look like you can't punch. You look like if you miss, you might rip your pants and fall. But you don't look like you can't punch. So anyway, I mean, Club Shay Shay is some other shit. And I just had to revisit the whole Cat Williams thing because I had a sister inbox me today. The queen inboxed me, and I ain't gonna put her on blast, you know, because she was doing her due diligence. I posted something about Cat Williams, and the queen inboxed me. But King, Cat is waking the people up, and so the thing is this. Here's what makes me mad. Or not even makes me mad, I take that back. Here's what's frustrating. The shit that Cat Williams said to y'all, for one, it ain't even gonna come close to comparing to the shit that he didn't say. But we'll deal with that in a second. The shit that he did say, he didn't say not one thing that guys like me ain't been on the internet saying for the last 10 years. Nothing. He didn't bring out no new information. He didn't even tell you more than Kanye told you. Kanye actually said some shit when he was talking about the Jews and all that shit. Cat Williams didn't give you information on that level. He told you what celebrities wear a dress, and he told you that behind closed doors, Hollywood makes men suck penis. Excuse me, ladies, but that's the truth. Okay, well, my brother down south can testify, and a matter of fact, I'm glad you're here, because on some of them nights, Mr. Down South, on some of them nights, you refuse to agree with your boy. You said, and I quote, I just can't see it, dog. So now, somebody like Cat Williams come out and say cut and dry the same thing guys like me been saying for 10 years. They all fucking do it. I did another video with y'all. I showed y'all Lamont from Sanford and Son. What did he come out and say? Lamont from Sanford and Son say, you cannot get to the top without it. He said every single one of them, no exceptions. Lamont from Sanford and Son came clean out and said every single one of them, nobody is exempt. You can't get to the top without it. He said, name your favorite celebrity, all of them. Man, woman, and child. You can't get to the top without it. And now, when I pulled up, see, this is why we be, and this is going to be a great segue into what we're doing tonight. This is how I be knowing. I'm finna show y'all something. Now, it's up to y'all what y'all do with it, but this is how we be knowing. I did a show like this, and I think maybe it's time to do another one. That might even be what I do next week. I did a show called Signs and Symbols Run the World. And I did a part one, and part one was banging so heavy. That was back when I used to have a couple thousand people a night. Part one was banging so heavy, they told me to do another one. So I came back with the part two. Hey, check it out. This is what I'm trying to say to you down south. Look what you just said to me, God. You said, I feel. Brethren, I love you. It's okay for you to feel anything you want to. That's not what we're dealing with. When we deal with this thing right here, We got to take what we feel and throw it out the window and deal with what we could prove. Because, see, here's the thing. If I know some of them do it, and then I look at the level of the ones that I know some of them do it, then I look at people who at the same level and say, no, but they didn't do it. I'm playing a game with myself. Because here's the thing. Signs and symbols run the world. So Cat Williams could tell you any fucking thing he wants to out his mouth because it sounds good. But it's a few things that I said that I know you heard me say before down south. One of the things I know for a fact you heard me say in the CMB room, because I said it a few times, I said one of the things is they got to tell you what they gonna do. That's part of it. That's how you escape cosmic retribution, aka karma. They got to tell on themselves. Now, last time Cat Williams told, they ripped his career to shreds. He came back years later, and now he appears to be telling again. But only this time, he did two things. He went away and got a little bit of power. He told on himself, he said, I don't know nothing, but I got the videotapes. What have I told y'all 1,000 times? I say, everything happens at the mansion parties. What have I say? I said the mansion parties is all on record. I even came in the CMB room and I broke down the Playboy Mansion thing and tell y'all how the Playboy Mansion and Hugh Hef started everything. And ever since then, they've been emulating what Hugh Hef did at the mansion parties. Everything in the mansion parties is recorded. That's where all the free drugs and freaky sex happen. So Cat Williams learned from his mistake. Fuck going to the parties. I'm going to start throwing them. And that's how I can get the information and you can buy them. You catch somebody slipping, you got that bag on you, you can buy that tape. So that gives you a little more power to talk. The second thing is, he did the one thing he keep telling y'all he haven't done. He joined them. And I told y'all when he joined and nobody believed me. One of his, the reason why they ripped him down like that, that's called a hazing. That's a humiliation ritual, a shaming ritual. They rip you. They have to tear you apart and rebuild you. Now, here's how you know I'm right. Because right after they ripped him apart, he faded off the scene for a minute. When he came back on the scene, he had the multicolored hair. Now, think about how many artists got ripped up by the media and all that shit. And after they come back, they had the blonde hair. It's normally they go blonde, but they did the rainbow hair with 6ix9ine. And then the rainbow hair is rainbow. Now, Cat Williams got the rainbow hair, but when 6ix9ine did it, y'all understood it. But when Cat do it, well, he just doing something. No, it is what it is. We can't keep making exceptions with the ones we like, because then our measuring stick is broke. We're creating, with all of these incidents, we're creating a measuring stick for the purpose of keeping us safe. If we go against the measuring stick, we break the rules and we're not safe no more. So we have to stick to the rules. So now, when you look at the comeback of him, he come back with the multicolored hair and look at his new direction. It's mostly political when he first came back, and he was upholding the Obamas and ripping to shred Trump. But if you remember in the beginning of his career, he talked down on Obama. So you got to pay attention to the way their ideology shift. Now, here's the nail in the coffin, and I found this today. It fucked my head up. When you look at the flyer for Cat Williams' new tour, it's called the Dark Matter Tour. Now, one thing is He on there and he got everything in all blue. Now, I'm going to take you to something Jay-Z said. You can tell I bleed blue, but I ain't a crypto. But I got a gang of niggas walking with my clique, though. Jay-Z is talking about the Blue Lodge. The Blue Lodge is mostly where the niggas be. The Red Lodge is when you mostly white boys and higher ups. So they keep you niggas in the Blue Lodges in the lower levels. Now, that's why Cat Williams got everything all blue. When Yellow Beezy got shot and he came back, the first video he did was the remix to his hit song, and he had everybody in it and everything was blue. Now, you know they blamed it on Crippin', but they was bringing him in. How do you know? Because he had the Bumblebee chain. The Bumblebee is a entry level of coming into the folds. See, all of this shit, if you don't know, it just seems like random shit. But once you know signs and symbols run the world, then we have to know what these signs and symbols mean. That's why they was calling Beyonce the Beehive. All of this is esoteric secret society talk, and it goes above our head because we don't know the stuff. So when you see Cat Williams and he calling it the Dark Matter Tour, and he's on the cover doing this. Now, that is the vow of secrecy. And there's 1,000 different little societies. They don't all got to be the same, but you got to be plugged into the bigger the elitist group you plug into, the more opportunity and privilege you get. So when you see him on the cover with that all blue, with his hand over his mouth, that's saying he not gonna tell. Then you see him cover the eye like this, and then you see him throw the 666 up. He's speaking another language past you. That's why to you it don't mean nothing. That's why to you you say, oh, he just doing something, trying to get a check. Can you run around a nation and say you a gangster disciple? You famous? You run around throwing up the gangster disciple pitchforks in the language and saying you weren't? Can you travel around the country and do that freely? Ask Rick Ross. Ask Rick Ross, can you pretend you in a gang and you really not? And you famous. Ask Rick Ross, can you do that? Can you pretend you're in a gang, be famous and rich, and travel all over the world saying you in that gang? Because I remember when he tried it with the GDs. And I remember when they shot his motherfucking whip up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And according to Jaguar Wright, to this day, he's still being extorted by them. He still pay that money. So you can't do that. So why y'all think you could do it with the devil? You can't do it with these lowly gangs, but you could do it with Satan? You think you would play with Satan, throw up his gang sign, and don't get the fuck out of here. Y'all just be saying shit. It don't work like that. You have to. And they show you in everything they doing. So now, this will... So now back to Cat with the Dark Matter Tour. Now, one of the number one rock bands in history is Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam they just released their new single, and they're about to drop their new album called Dark Matter. Now, why is a rock band full of white boys releasing their new single and their new album called Dark Matter, and Cat Williams is on tour calling it Dark Matter? And let me guess, y'all think either it's a coincidence or Cat Williams is so popular that rock bands have decided to steal his ideas? Which one? It's got to be one of them. Or this is why I always say you have to know something to know something. Now watch this. Let's find out. See, this is what I do. When I don't understand some shit, I just dig into it. Let's find out what dark matter really is. Now, hold on. Hold on 1 second. Dark matter in simple terms. There's no current problem of greater importance to cosmology than that of dark matter. Cosmology is like the creation of the world, basically, the put together of the world. Now, dark matter is composed of particles that do not absorb, reflect, or emit light. That is important. Dark matter is composed of particles that do not absorb, reflect, or emit light. So we're talking about pure darkness where there is no light. Now, when you're talking in occult terms, you know darkness and light. What the fuck did Star Wars teach you? The dark side and the light side. So when they're repping the dark side and dark matter where there's no light being reflected, there's no light being absorbed, meaning we ain't taking no light in and we ain't giving none now. We want total darkness. That's the dark side. And then, now, there's another part of the definition that says dark matter is material that cannot be seen directly. Now, let me show you why that's important. Because his chains say F-O-K-E, woke. F-O-K-E literally means someone pretending to be woke. So, if dark matter is something that cannot be seen directly, that is talking about being tricked, being manipulated. You can't see me coming. So you think I'm woke, but I'm really not. That's the same thing. And now, when you talk about, let's get back to Pearl Jam, talking about this dark matter, as far as they're concerned, they're talking about, y'all got to listen to it for yourself because it's this rock, they screaming. It's not even screaming. Actually, it's not a bad rhythm or nothing, but it's just the way that they're singing it. I feel like it's intentionally so that you struggle with the words. And I tried to look up the part where they'll put the words across the screen, but maybe the song is too new or maybe they don't want you to have the words. But they talking about demigods and humanity failing, and they talk about shit like that. So it's like, I don't know if I don't want to just say they on some bullshit, but you know they on some bullshit. Now, they're talking about demigods and things of that nature, and you know this is their 30. This would be their, basically this is their 33rd year because they came out, it says in the 90s. So this is either their 33rd or their 34th year. But if you go with 34, you know 34 is divinity. So with them talking about demigods and releasing on their 34th year something about dark matter, that is like, that would be like a AKA ode to Satan type of deal. And so now, what does dark matter do to humans? Your cells, organs, and entire body would stop holding together. So Cat Williams is having the Dark Matter tour, when a bunch of humans are going to come to it. And what dark matter does to humans is stop holding it all together. See, I don't have room to see all of these connections and pretend they're not there. I don't have the luxury, the peace of mind, the bravery to play with God like that. Like none of that do I have within me to read all of that and say, coincidence. No, don't got nothing to do with nothing. Come on, man. Now, put all this in mind with we caught this sucker red-handed doing witchcraft. So it's like, what more do we need before we understand what's going on? But it's just like what we finna deal with now. When it get to the spooky side of things, we get a little crazy to the point where it's like we don't want to deal with that. So here's something you got to think about. If I ask y'all, do y'all believe in God? You say, yeah. Most people say they believe in the devil. Now, because we smarter now, we don't believe it's a red guy with red horns under the ground. But we do know that there's a something. Okay, so if you believe that there's a God and you believe that there's an opposing force to God, whatever that could be, and so then most people who believe in God believe God has angels, helpers, whatever, to help him do his will. So then it's logical to believe that the devil has the same. So now this is just all a play on words, just so we can get to the point. We're talking about opposing energies, ultimate good energies and ultimate bad energies. Just that simple. Now, if it's all about energy, and then we say, well, energy can't die. Okay, so then I'm in agreement with all of that. But then we say energy can be manipulated. Okay, so now this is what a definition of a demon would be. Energy that has been manipulated to do negative, or has been manipulated negatively. So let's go with voodoo dolls. Most people believe in voodoo in some extent. We've seen the thing where people make the little doll and stick it, and then somebody else say ouch or whatever the case may be, this type of deal. Well, if we believe that can happen, then we have to understand that if I can put energy or essence into a figure and then use that figure to control reality, I could do that with more than just this little doll. So we never think about that as if, what if I could, the same thing I would do to the doll, what if I could do it to your blanket? I mean, what's the difference? So what I'm saying is, if we can take energy from one spot to another and manipulate it, then we can't just stop at inanimate objects. We have to look more towards, what about things that actually hold energy already? Diamonds and crystals. Everybody's into crystals now. The magic of crystals and what crystals could do for you and how powerful they are. You don't think your adversary is using them in the same way? So if we the spiritual people, if we think we can take these crystals, pray over them, meditate over them, and get positive influence and positive energy from these crystals, what would make us think that our adversary hasn't done the same thing over some of these crystals in a negative manner? So that if one, hypothetically speaking, was to buy crystals from a source that they were unaware of, could those crystals have been manipulated negatively before you got them? See, it's all the same. We're in the same space. If we can take crystals and they can harness positive energy, can the crystals harness negative energy? And if you say no, then I say hypocritical. You can't have it both ways. So we have to decide if these crystals that we have now, that we're adorning our body with, do we believe that? Do we actually believe that? Do we actually believe that these crystals that we buy offline, or when we go to the crystal shop, and then we talk to Samantha or Tabitha or whoever the fuck is at the crystal place, and she's got all like 17 crystals around her neck, and she's telling you all the break. Do we believe that she knows what the fuck she's talking about? And do we believe that once we buy these crystals, and like my son and my wife buy crystals a lot. So when you buy them from the crystal store, they come in a fancy little suede pouch, and they got a little piece of paper with instructions tell you this is obsidian, and this is what color, this is what it do, and this, and then we're like, all of that. Do we believe that when we purchase it from the crystal store and it tells us that this crystal has this capability? Do we believe it? Obviously we do, because crystal stores is booming, and everybody and their mama now is a spiritual healer. So obviously we believe this crystal and the sage work. Okay, so now that we've established that you believe that crystals can carry negative or positive energy, that makes this discussion so much more easier. I thought y'all was going to give me a hard time with this one. So now, let's talk about blood diamonds. Now, they came out with that movie, and I really, I wanted to watch it today, but I was too cheap, and they wouldn't give me a free one on YouTube, so, it is what it is. I got Netflix on my phone. If it don't come on Netflix, it ain't happening. It's got to be either free on YouTube or Netflix, or we ain't working. That's just where I'm at with my development. Don't judge me. So either way it goes. So now here's the thing. Now the whole premise, I watched the real documentary on the blood diamonds today. So now this is like Sierra Leone, and you basically have a shitty ass government that's not, and this is what's dangerous too. You got a shitty government that's not doing right by the people. So the people uprise, and the uprise turn in a civil war, and they overthrow the government. But after they overthrow the government, then it's like, okay, now what we gonna do? Now one portion of the country is where the diamonds is at. So basically, the Civil War turned into the war over the diamond mines, the diamond distribution. So they basically take the country hostage and take over the diamond trade, which is crazy because all of those millions of people die. hundreds of thousands, they say. And then y'all take and you get a hold of the diamond trade, and then you sell it to the Westerners. So like it's crazy how the colonization turned us into savages, because we seen that savagery works. They were so savage and brutal on us, and it worked. So you see that same behavior anywhere where you see us. You see us using savagery and brutality to get our way. It's hurt people. It's a learned violence is a learned reaction, learned response. So now you got to think about when you see the diamond boom in America through the 90s, when everybody just started getting crazy diamonds and big ass chains and all of that shit. We not knowing that the reason why you're able to get these big ass chains is because your people are warring over the right to sell you this. And then the crazy part about it is you're paying. Back then, you could get one little diamond for like $20 over there. But once it leaves Sierra Leone, it turned into a $1,500 gem. The markup is crazy. I don't even know what kind of percentage that is. But they invaded their own country, took the men, women, and children hostage, made the young men slaves in the diamond mines, made the women sex slaves, and did all of this so that they can control the diamonds and sell it to foreigners for profit. But we over in America, and we're looking at, rappers is starting to wear bigger jewelry. If you that couldn't have happened if the diamonds wasn't available. And then here's where two things happen that I don't think we could have ever paid attention to. Here's the one thing. When you got, they said hundreds of thousands of people were murdered. The war raged all through the streets of the nation. Bodies, when they showed, if y'all go watch this documentary, they show the footage. Bodies laying in the middle of the street. Sometimes it was 3-4 bodies in the doorway just piled up on top of each other. And the crows were just picking off the bodies of meat, and that shit was crazy. And so this is all energy. This is all life energy being lost over these diamonds. That's why they was calling them blood diamonds, because of all the blood that was shed for them. But that's more than a term. That's more than ooh, look what happened to my people. There's an energy going into that. There's a whole energy of what we would call, quote unquote, evil energy going into the production of these diamonds. And so how much spirit and energy is going into this? And so now, on the flip side, you got to keep in mind, there's something we got to keep in mind, and this is where I think we always get lost at. Now, from the African perspective, we dirt fucking poor. That bring out savagery, and then you people. We've seen what poverty will do to people. It'll get ill. People kill their own mama, daddy, son, all that. So we've seen that. The worst come out of people when they face with these things. But now, the people who are purchasing them, I think it's hard for y'all to imagine that these people are sorcerers who actually know what they're doing. So, what type of ceremonial things are happening over these diamonds before they go to an all-black market? You just got to think about it. This opportunity is irresistible. This is irresistible. You already got these diamonds with the energy of murder connected to them. You honestly think they're not having ceremonials over these motherfucking crates and crates of diamonds as they're coming into the country? Look what's happening. Murder. And now, another thing is, if you buy a big chain and we gang banging, get into the money, and I come and I shoot you up, what happens? We never see what happens to those chains when gang members or rappers get shot dead with the big ass pieces and the police come on the scene. We've never seen what happens to that jewelry. Real shit. And I just thought about this the other day. Like, what happens to that? You got a big ass medallion on. You out there, boom, motherfucker ride down on you, blow you down. You got all your chains and jewelry on. Niggas don't run up and take your fur cut off you. Everybody scattered. The bullets fly. People scatter. You just fall, hit the ground. You got 6 chains and a rollie on. You just there. I imagine some cities is rough enough where people will look around and try to, but for the most part, when them bullets get to fly like that, people duck and run and hide. When you hit the ground, the sirens come, people ain't finna get caught. So what happens to them diamonds that fall on that dead body with all that blood on it? See, everything is energy. So then I just gotta say, we talking about blood diamonds, but then there's real blood diamonds. And then there's also something else I thought about. They always connect these hold on my phone. They always connect these genies, jinns, and leprechauns to these jewels and these gems. What's the connection between these evil spirits and gems and diamonds? Because I'm telling you that energy can be crystallized. You always see the witch, she looking into what? She looking into some kind of crystal. The other thing they got is a crystal ball. What is a crystal ball? That's a gem. A crystal is a gem. So if you can see this concept of being able to look inside a crystal and see actual event, that is telling you that diamonds and crystals can hold energy that can be transmuted into other things. Now it's all on the individual that's doing it and their level of capabilities, but they're telling you that it's an actual thing. So we just got to think about, if energy can be harvested in these crystals for a positive, then they can be harvested in these crystals for negative. And then when you look at the diamond industry, and now we know that a lot of the stones, people was getting, who's the boy? I forgot his name. I just seen that the little boy was bragging about his diamonds. Said he paid $30,000 for the mouth, $15,000 for the top, $15,000 for the bottom, and they told him they want to hit him with the diamond tester. Is it gonna go out? And he said that thing gonna go off the radar. It's gonna blow up, bleed. And they putting that thing on his teeth, man. And he talking about you got to get it right on the tooth. That motherfucker did not go off. Could you imagine? I couldn't fathom giving a motherfucker $30,000 and rearranging my whole thing, only for them to tell me that this shit is fake. Oh, Lord. Your teeth, bro? So what is that in your mouth? Oh my goodness, what is that it put some zirconium in your mouth? What the fuck that it put in your mouth, little homie? You don't know. You just trusting these people. But now, here's something that got to be looked into. Just food for thought. All the places where these diamonds come from have backgrounds in like rituals, voodoo, magic, and shit like that. So we just got to keep in mind why they always show you the genie is surrounded by gems and jewels, and that's one of the first things the genie promised you. The leprechaun, which is like another form of a jinn, a fairy, and diamonds, gold, and why? Because I keep telling y'all, movies are metaphorical, so they're letting you know a lot of times these demonic energies and these demons is going to come with these gems and these materialistic desires. And the Wishmaster, which was a jinn, he actually lived inside of a red crystal. And you know the red crystal is the lower chakra. But the demon, was it the Wishmaster? I think he was a Wishmaster. He actually lived inside of a red crystal. So like these things, like I said, they be metaphorically trying to explain something to you. Trying to tell you a little something. What I finna say, there's a thing to be said when you think about, for us to wear all of them diamonds to this day still, for us to rock them diamonds and have this big ass jewelry and shit like that, they got children over there on their hands and feet in the mud, shaking it, digging all day, every day, so you can walk around with diamonds on. And this is why they, a lot of times, the other problem is, y'all buy these diamonds and then you go back to sell them, you can't get what you paid for. That should tell you something right there. You're not getting a real diamond. A lot of these diamonds is mixed. They didn't learn how to stretch the dope. For all my diamond rockers, they didn't learn how to stretch the dope, man. So you ain't getting that A1 no more. Your ass getting some recook. That's why when they put y'all little diamonds under the little ting-ting, it don't ting-ting. Because your ass will be rocking 10 foil and don't even know it. Just spent all your little hard-earned money for some aluminum foil. Get those zirconiums out your mouth, bro. Those zirconiums out your mouth. But I just think this became a psychology to uh, escape a thought process. So we wanted to look rich at a point when we knew we wasn't. So this was just a status symbol to say, "Hey, I'm better off than everybody else." We know we ain't got no money. So I don't know. It's a. I just think now we got to get past that. Buy you some blocks of gold, sit them to the side. They're gonna come in handy one day. Invest in some silver, with pieces of silver. That's gonna do you better than rocking them big ass chains. Cause if the shit hit the fan, who you gonna sell it to? So I don't know. I just, and don't get me wrong. I used to have a lot of it. I still got a couple pieces left in the case that I don't even. I got ready to rock some earrings to something I was going to not too long ago, and my hole closed up. I put the earrings back. I'm like, never mind. I could have pushed it through. I'm like, man, I'm not finna go through that shit. There ain't no telling when I'm gonna wear this motherfucker again. But it's uh, a trap though, because at this point, I'm not even worried. I take that back. It's not even the trap aspect that I'm speaking on today. It's the spiritual aspect. We got to get more in tune with the possibilities of what can happen on the spiritual level, so that when we have discussions like this, it don't sound so far fetched. You say, okay, yeah, I see how they can harvest energy into a certain place and then pass it on. This could be easily done. I mean, what? Being more specific, when we talk about the whole genie in a bottle concept, what is that concept? That's energy, massive energy being harvested inside of a genie lamp, and then at specific times being able to release that energy and put it back. That's the same thing we talk about. And I know y'all think genies ain't real. Well, first of all, I don't know if they're real or not. I've never seen a genie lamp, but I do know movies are metaphorical. So in that instance, I feel there's a great metaphor in there as far as being able to take enormous amounts of energy, excuse me, and harvest it for a later moment, and then being able to use it for positive or a negative gain. That is that's the conceptuality of a genie in a bottle, a genie in a lamp. Same thing. I just made it sound good, didn't I? So when it could be anything, and we just using diamonds, but you have the spirits of millions of harmed, manipulated energies from people that are connected to this whole diamond industry. So then you understand that with each indulgent of the diamond, you participating in like human trafficking and slavery and shit like that. So this is what makes it the blood diamond. It's going past just the blood being spilled for them, but the energy contained within that blood. How does that ever go away? And especially if we're looking at the diamonds increase, then that means productivity increase, which means harsh treatment and slavery had increased. And then that's when we into a whole nother arena. Like, wait a minute, what we dealing with? So I think when I was watching that and I was watching all those people get slaughtered and the people that was crying, and that one brother, they cut both of his hands off. And they said they did it because of, remember I told y'all this is a civil war. And they said they cut his hands off because of who he voted for. Next time he'll know not to vote for that person. That's crazy. Just that within itself. That within itself is crazy. And then they showed later on, they showed several people who had got their hands cut off and was still at the voting things using nubs and using put together little things to still fill out their voting ballots. That's crazy, man. Politics and religion is just crazy within itself, and to have people going through, dealing with, and doing the craziest shit on this planet. Yeah, I just wanted to briefly touch on this because I feel like there's a spirit. Because when you look at how much murder and corruption takes place on the account of diamonds, we didn't even get into the white collar aspect where people stealing millions for diamonds, doing diamond heists. Like there's a huge thing where when it comes to diamonds, people will take life and get crazy and do the most absurd things. But these diamonds are coming from a country where it's $20, $50 a stone. But in this country, those same 2 stones will cost you $3,000 and you could lose your life for it. That is somebody on alchemy level that is aware of this and is orchestrating it. Because otherwise, the price increase is crazy. It's common sense is going to bring something bad. With that being said, we on our way to Clubhouse, baby. And only thing I can say is, I'm trying. I promise I'm gonna get better. But until y'all help me get a staff, it's just what it is. It's just me. So official, baby. Y'all should see the pants. I got the little referee whistle right there. Down South partner. Okay, man. Hey, I slid in there fan base. She wasn't even in there that day, man. I'm gonna come back and rock with y'all though one day this week. With that being said, knowledge is the only real power. Information is the only real currency. But the application of both is the route to divinity. I love y'all. We're going to Clubhouse at some point.